The first thing you see is not flour, not cabbage, not raw meat. You see thousands of Korean dumplings moving in perfect rows. Soft white mandu slide under bright factory lights, each one folded with the same tiny ridges, each one sealed before steam can escape. The motion is almost hypnotic. Dough becomes a pocket, filling disappears inside. A dumpling is born every second. But this calm line starts much earlier, before the folding, before the cooking, before the packaging. It begins at the back of the factory, where simple ingredients arrive cold, heavy, and unfinished. Flour in large sacks, fresh cabbage in plastic crates, chives, garlic, tofu, glass noodles, and seasoned meat. Every box is checked before it enters the line, because in a Korean dumpling factory, the final shape may look simple, but the process behind it is a long chain of small, precise steps.
The vegetables enter the first transformation stage.
The vegetables enter the first transformation stage. Nothing is rushed here. Cabbage is too important to treat carelessly because it carries water, crunch, and sweetness into the dumpling filling. Workers remove damaged leaves by hand. Then the cabbage moves into long washing channels where cold water lifts dust from every fold. Chives and onions follow the same path. Garlic is peeled, green stems are trimmed. The factory looks calm, but every surface is moving. Water sprays from above. Baskets slide across steel. Workers lift, check, and separate the vegetables again and again. This is not the dramatic part of dumpling making, but it is one of the most important. If the raw vegetables are not clean, dry, and evenly prepared, the filling will never hold the right texture. The perfect dumpling starts with a clean cut.
Now the factory begins to build the filling. Cabbage is chopped into small pieces, not too fine.
Now the factory begins to build the filling. Cabbage is chopped into small pieces, not too fine and not too large. The goal is texture. Each bite of mandu should feel soft, but still alive. Chives are cut into tiny green rings. Onion and garlic are minced until their sharp smell can spread through the mixing room. In another area, tofu is pressed to remove excess water. Glass noodles are softened, cooled, and chopped. These ingredients do not look like dumpling filling yet. They look separate. Wet cabbage, pale tofu, glossy noodles, green chives. But the factory is quietly preparing balance. Too much water, and the dumpling breaks. Too little, and the filling becomes dry. The machines help with speed, but the real secret is control. Every ingredient must reach the mixer at the right size, the right moisture, and the right temperature. The filling is where the dumpling gets its character. The prepared vegetables enter a huge stainless steel mixer. Then minced meat, tofu, glass noodles, garlic, soy seasoning, sesame oil, salt, and pepper are added in controlled amounts. At first, the mixture looks uneven. Pale tofu sits on top. Green chives spread across the surface. Noodles stretch between pieces of cabbage. Then the paddles begin to turn. Slowly, the ingredients fold into each other. Moisture spreads. Seasoning coats every piece. The texture changes from separate ingredients into one thick, sticky filling. This is the moment where the dumpling begins to feel real. The mixture must be soft enough to eat, firm enough to hold shape, and balanced enough to survive the folding machine. A worker checks it by hand. The filling clings to the glove. That is a good sign.
The dough is pressed, folded, and rested. Then it moves through rollers again and again. Each pass makes the sheet thinner and
While the filling rests, the dough line starts its own quiet work. Dumpling skin looks simple, but it must do something difficult. It must stretch without tearing. It must hold moisture without becoming sticky. It must stay thin, but strong enough to protect the filling inside. The flour is measured, then mixed with water and a small amount of salt. Inside the kneading chamber, dry powder turns into rough clumps, then into a smooth, elastic mass. The dough is pressed, folded, and rested. Then it moves through rollers again and again. Each pass makes the sheet thinner and smoother. The factory does not guess the thickness. Sensors and workers check it constantly. A dumpling skin that is too thick feels heavy. A skin that is too thin breaks. The perfect sheet is almost delicate, but still strong.
Now the two lines meet. The dough wrappers arrive from one side. The filling arrives from another. This is the most satisfying part of the factory.
Now the two lines meet. The dough wrappers arrive from one side. The filling arrives from another. This is the most satisfying part of the factory. Each round wrapper lands in a small mold. A measured portion of filling drops into the center. Then the folding system closes around it with a gentle press. The edges meet. The ridges form. The soft half-moon shape appears in less than a second. Over and over, the same movement repeats. There is no wasted motion. Workers watch for tiny mistakes. A broken edge, too much filling, or a weak seal can ruin the dumpling later when steam expands inside. The good dumplings continue forward in neat rows. At this stage, the mandu finally looks familiar. But the dumplings are still raw. They have shape. They have filling. Now they need heat. The raw dumplings enter the cooking stage. Steam rises around the line and softens every edge. Heat moves through the dough first, then into the filling. The white wrappers become slightly glossy. The pleats hold their shape. Inside, the cabbage softens, the meat cooks, the tofu absorbs seasoning, and the noodles become tender. This is the point where the dumpling becomes food. The tunnel controls temperature and time with strict precision. Too little steam, and the center stays raw. Too much, and the wrapper becomes weak. When the dumplings leave the tunnel, they look fuller and smoother. Then the factory cools them quickly. Cold air moves across the rows, stopping the cooking at the exact moment. For frozen mandu, speed matters. The shape must lock before moisture can damage the skin. After cooking and freezing, the dumplings enter inspection. This stage looks quiet, but it decides what reaches the customer. Workers look for broken skins, open seams, uneven shapes, and extra pieces of dough. Cameras scan the rows from above. Weight systems check the flow. The factory wants every bag to feel the same when someone picks it up in a store. A dumpling can fail for small reasons. A corner may be cracked. A pleat may be open. A piece may be too small. The rejected dumplings are removed from the line. The good dumplings continue forward, now clean, firm, and ready for packaging. What started as flour, cabbage, tofu, noodles, and meat has become thousands of identical frozen mandu. The next step is not cooking, it is protection. The package must keep the dumplings fresh until they reach a kitchen.
The packaging line moves faster than the eye can follow. A roll of plastic film becomes a pouch.
The packaging line moves faster than the eye can follow. A roll of plastic film becomes a pouch. Frozen mandu drop inside in measured portions. The package closes around them, then heat seals along the edges. Air is controlled so the dumplings stay protected and separate. Every bag passes through another check. The seal must be strong. The weight must be correct. The package must be clean. Then the bags move to boxes. Workers stack them with fast, practiced movements. Machines guide the boxes down the line, close the flaps, and send them toward cold storage. At this stage, the dumplings are no longer just food on a conveyor. They are a product, ready for trucks, ready for freezers, ready for someone to take home, steam, fry, or boil. The factory has almost finished its transformation.
At the end of the line, the finished dumplings enter cold storage. The room is quiet, almost still, but everything inside it is ready to move.
At the end of the line, the finished dumplings enter cold storage. The room is quiet, almost still, but everything inside it is ready to move. Pallets of boxed mandu wait in freezing air. The factory has taken raw ingredients and turned them into something precise, repeatable, and strangely beautiful. Flour became thin wrappers. Cabbage became texture. Tofu and noodles became softness. Meat and seasoning became the center. Steam cooked everything into one shape. Cold air locked that shape in place. Packaging protected it. And now, the final product is complete. This is why the process is so satisfying to watch. It is not just speed, it is order. Every small movement leads to the next. Every sound belongs to the transformation. And somewhere far from this factory, one bag will open, and these frozen Korean dumplings will return to steam again.